Wow, so I'm blown away. Like, I have had a client for, I don't know how many years, this client of mine, and he was just asking how much for my VIP membership and, what he would find on my VIP pages of my website. So I sent him the links and everything, and I told him, right now my membership is under $25, and you can actually check out as a guest. You don't need to have a PayPal account. And just before, I guess, he started making his account, he texted me saying, this is definitely legitimate though, right? You're not going to scam me? And I was like, I just made a couple of videos on YouTube on how not to get scammed on LeoList. Why would I do that? Have I ever scammed you? To which he says, I've seen that you've talked about scamming before. And like, those were videos I made for you guys on how not to get scammed on LeoList. Like, have I ever scammed you before? Like, why are you asking me this? Like, seriously, why are you asking me this? So now he's apologizing profusely. Anyways, what I was going to do, was make a video for the ladies on how not to get scammed by clients. Because I have a whole bunch of ones to tell you about. And I had the most brilliant one happen lately from a client that tried to scam me and rip me off. It goes both ways, guys. So ladies, ever since I created text sessions, online text packages, etc., I do have the occasional guy who will want to start talking about his fetishes and his fantasies on text to see if it's okay that that's what the session's going to be about. But half an hour into a chat like that, a text session like that, you realize that that pretty much was a text session. So guys that excessively text, you got to cut that off. That is a downright time waster, and they're never going to come through. They'll go ghost at the end of it all and basically just rip you off for your time and waste it. And there's a lot of guys like that. Not even occasionally. This happens all the time. So you have to set a limit to how long you'll text with a client, as well as a phone call too. I have guys that call me, and some of them don't even need to be on the phone with me for more than a minute. Sometimes they'll ask me a question that I guess the answer I give is going to literally make them bust. And all of a sudden, a minute into the call, they're like, oh, yeah. And they're like literally jerking off to my voice, and they hang up. A good way to know if a client is calling from a text app is when there's that moment hesitation when they're on the phone with you, and every time you ask a question, there's a pause before they start answering. That is a text app that they're calling you from. So by the time you book them, or you spend a considerable amount of time on the phone with them, and you go to call them back to verify or confirm that they're real, it won't even go through. It's just a bunk number. Like, they can cut it off like this. So don't waste your time on that. If you're not sure about the guy, just say that you're going to call him right back. That if an e-transfer does not arrive immediately, it takes exactly 30 minutes on the dot, literally, for it to arrive into your account. So to avoid delay, you should always ask the client, if it doesn't arrive immediately, if they could send you a screenshot of the completed transaction. Because I have had situations where I've sat and waited out that half hour just to find out that it still hasn't arrived. And then we realize that, oh, shoot, they got one letter wrong in my email. And now they have to send it again. And if it's going to take a full half hour from there, now you're waiting a full hour for somebody, which really sucks. Also, it's important to know that on Saturday nights, generally, our banks do updating. So if it happens to just be between those particular hours while your bank is updating, it's usually between midnight and 3 or 4 a.m., then somebody could very well have actually sent you an e-transfer, and they're swearing up and down. And I know this for a fact because I've had good clients that this has happened to, that sent me money. I know they genuinely did, but it doesn't come in. And neither one of us gets a notification, and I'm just not going to move forward with the session. And then later on in the day, this has happened. Either you get an email or a notification saying that an e-transfer was sent, but we were unable to process this e-transfer and the funds were not successfully deposited into your account. So that's not actually a scam, but you have to be aware of it. Another reason why it's very important to wait until that money actually deposits. But to all the guys that have tried to scam women in this industry, really, truly shame on you. You have to realize that the women doing this are, like a lot of them are mothers. A lot of them have kids they're supporting. I mean, this is the way that they pay their bills. This is how they put food on the table. So it's like telling a thief, which I've done. Don't rip off your local mom and pop grocery. Go to Walmart. Rip off Walmart. I mean, if you're going to steal, then you might as well hit a corporation instead of a mom and pop operation, right? So I don't know about everybody else, but I'm assuming just like me, like we work very hard for our money. The amount of time I invest in my business compared to how much I make, I probably make about the same as an hourly wage elsewhere. I put in extremely long, exhausting hours. You know, I love my clients. I give much thanks to my paying clients, even the ones that have been calling me for years and they never last more than 2 minutes on the phone, but they'll always pay my minimum rate of $40. It's just respect. I mean, how many times that you're not doing a session with me are you jerking off to my content, right? For free. So don't try to pull these scams. So I had the most clever scam happen to me just a few days ago. This guy, I'll post his name and information underneath this video so that you guys can all be aware of him, because he's actually in the financial industry. Like, I looked him up and he's like, you can Google his name, and he's works in banking. So this is a brilliant scam, but he didn't pull it past me. So he said he sent me an e-transfer, and it was a pretty high e-transfer considering what he was trying to book with me. It was a couple $100. And had I been in a hurry or been having a busy night, I might have overlooked it. But it was one of the ones that if they come from Montreal, e-transfers always need to have a password with them. I don't know why Montreal e-transfers are like that, but they are. So it seemed his number was from Montreal. I clicked on it, and the buttons almost look identical to, you know, accept this e-transfer or don't accept it. And so if you were in a hurry or you weren't reading carefully enough, you could have easily clicked on accept. And what it actually was it was a request from him asking for money from me. So had I clicked yes, the $200 would have come out of my bank account and gone straight to his. What a fucking douchebag, hey? Yes. And then of course you get well, this happens all the time, which is why I'm very, very, very strict about I do not connect. I do not begin anything until the money deposits. But there's a fair number of guys over the years in the beginning, when I still trusted people a little bit, that guys would send an e-transfer and then basically be like really, really aggressive about the fact that they're limited for time, they're in a rush. Can we just start? Come to find out that they never sent an e-transfer. Even some of my best regulars have done this to me. And another thing, don't ever, 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 please ladies, don't ever say yes to a guy that's asking if he can connect with you online and he'll pay you on payday. Are you fucking kidding me? So please don't fall for something like that, because, you know, once they have gotten the service from you, they're done. You try to get that money back later on, you're a fool. So, and guys asking for that shit, shame on you. Shame on you. So those are the most common scams from guys when it comes to online business. Don't fall for it. Be careful, and yes, be kind to one another. Respect each other. Remember, guys, this is a service that we provide, and women, just remember, you are worth it. I believe really, really strongly in karma, and you don't need that kind of karma. You know, what comes around goes around. It really does. And like, you know, you are ruining the trust level of that provider for everybody that comes after you when you rip her off. You know, that's not fair. That's just, it's mean, it's selfish, and it's disrespectful. But Karma's a bitch. Me and her are really good friends because I choose to keep good energy around me for a reason. And I think you should too. Anyways, on that note, bye. Have a great rest of your day, and don't scam. It's not nice.